Welcome to this Whoniverse episode of Tuesday Newsday's feature episodes. I'm Kay.
And I'm still Ruben. Doctor Who is a British institution, even though if you ask a cross-section of the British public, you will find that a lot of British people don't watch it and aren't really that bothered.
Tea. Beans.
Until the announcement of the latest Doctor, that is.
Yeah. It has a fantastically fanatical fan base around the world, sometimes referred to as Whovians, who in some places have their own societies, produce magazines and hold Doctor Who festivals.
It all began at 5:15 p.m. on Saturday the 23rd of November 1963, when the very first episode of Doctor Who was aired on BBC One as a so-called educational family show, and ran successfully for 26 years before failing ratings amongst other things caused the producers to shelve the production.
Yep.
An attempt was made to revive it in 1996 with a one-off TV movie, but that was not successful.
Now, finally, in 2005, the show was fully resurrected and has been doing mostly well since then.
Mostly.
It has an apparent viewership, if you believe the BBC, of up to 80 million people in 208 countries and has graced the Guinness Book of Records as the longest running and most successful science fiction series in the world.
So, what's it all about? In a nutshell, a Time Lord, who was the last of his kind,
Yeah.
but isn't anymore, travels through time and space
Wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
in a spaceship that is so much more than just a ship. It is sentient, alive, somehow having feelings and intelligent thought, called the TARDIS.
She's the TARDIS.
And she's a woman. She's a woman. And she's the TARDIS.
Time and relative dimension in space. And yes, it's bigger than the inside.
Yes, it is.
Smaller on the outside.
Okay.
The Time Lord, called the Doctor, romps around through time and space having adventures and saving the universe, or just a planet or two, with a companion, usually female, chosen from Earth. Using just his sonic screwdriver and wit, he defeats his enemies. The Doctor also has a special ability to regenerate, allowing him to reincarnate into a new body. Apparently it's a Time Lord thing.
So what's the hype? The BBC have just announced that the 13th Doctor is going to be a woman.
No!
Complete with lady parts and everything!
What?
I know! This has caused very mixed reactions from fans and casual viewers alike. It seems everyone has an opinion, from the obvious, the sexist, the furious, and everything in between.
So here are some examples for you. The Doctor is a Time Lord, not a Time Lady.
This is just an exercise in pleasing the PC Brigade. And you have lost this, viewer.
Yeah. Oh, great. A female Doctor Who. What next? Female real doctors, female pilots, female scientists, female sisters and mothers, and female women?
What? What?
J.K. Rowling said, a lot of folks who have never really cared about Doctor Who before are suddenly very concerned. Maybe we should announce that climate change is a woman.
So, what is our opinion? Let's look at this logically, like Spock.
Yes.
Logical.
If we can accept that the Doctor needs to regenerate and inhabit a new incarnation, a new body, and this has happened 12 times already, the fact that he, has never ended up in a female body is a statistical anomaly.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
Now we realise that he's not human, and so it is possible that on Gallifrey, which is his homeworld, there are a lot more men than women, but here on Earth the statistics are 1.01 to 1, which means that for every one woman there's 1.01 men. Now I'm not entirely sure what that looks like, but basically there's just a tiny bit more men than there are women, and we can mostly blame China for that. Mostly. So it's like flipping a coin 12 times and only ever getting heads? On a complete side note, and thinking about China, due in part to their one-child policy, China, I feel like I might be doing a Trump here. China now. China has 9 million more boys than girls.
Now that's not necessarily a problem now, but what happens when they grow up? Some of them might get lonely. And here's a solution. Move to Latvia, Lithuania or Ukraine, where they have more women than men. Older women, but still.
Yeah.
Sorry, we digress. Let's get back to Doctor Who.
Okay.
So, After you.
After you.
If the statistics that we found on the interweb are to be believed, viewership has been steadily declining. From the just under 12 million who tuned in for the Christmas special that saw Peter Capaldi take over from Matt Smith as the 12th Doctor, to just under 5.5 million for the latest season, which is dangerously close to the 4 million that saw the BBC pull the plug back in 1989.
Uh-oh. So is it desperation, political pressure, or is the announcement of Jodie Whittaker, a woman, as the new Doctor designed to drive up the viewership ratings? Or at least initially, while everyone scrutinises poor Jodie's performance to decide whether or not she has ruined the entire Doctor Who franchise. No pressure, Jodie.
Oh.
And stabbed!
But there are other changes to the Whoniverse as well. Stephen Moffat has been the long-time writer and showrunner for the last 6 series of Doctor Who, but is leaving after the Christmas special at the end of this year. And he will be replaced by a new head writer and executive producer, Chris Chibnall. He has some excellent TV under his belt, like the acclaimed show Broadchurch,
Amazing.
and we are really interested to see what he is going to bring to the table.
In an article on the BBC website, he stated, "I always knew I wanted the 13th Doctor to be a woman, and we're thrilled to have secured our #1 choice. Her audition for the Doctor simply blew us all away. Jodie is an in-demand, funny, aspiring, super smart force of nature and will bring loads of wit, strength and warmth," I don't know the warmth, "in her role. The 13th Doctor is on her way."
Wow, and that is music to my ears, because bring back the wit. No more grumpy Doctor, please.
I'm his carer.
Yeah, my carer. She cares, so I don't have to.
We want the excited, passionate and funny Doctor back again. In a recent article, Jodie Whittaker talked about her upcoming role as the Doctor, and she said, "It feels completely overwhelming." What? As a feminist, as a woman, as an actor, as a human, as someone who wants to continually push themselves and challenge themselves and not be boxed in by what you're told you can or can't be, it feels incredible. And I want to tell the fans not to be scared by my gender, because this is a really exciting time, and Doctor Who represents everything that's exciting about change. The fans have lived through so many changes, and this is only a new and different one. Not a fearful one.
Hear, hear. It is so true that each new Doctor faces the struggle of winning over previous Doctor fans. We loved Christopher Eccleston, but then he regenerated into David Tennant, who we hated for a moment. And then loved as perhaps the greatest Doctor of all time until he became Matt Smith, who we didn't like because he wasn't David Tennant. Until we realised how lovable he was.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And then came Peter Capaldi, who not many people liked, because he was written as a grumpy, moody, cantankerous Doctor. But our son, who didn't really know any of the other Doctors, actually really likes him. So it's just about what you're used to and what you've been conditioned to expect.
That way.
Please don't do that.
So we can expect that some people are going to be very upset by the new Doctor, exacerbated by the fact that she's a she. But come on, let's give her a chance. She is a phenomenal actress, and if the new writer can deliver, then maybe Jodie Whittaker could potentially revive this floundering flagship of British entertainment.
That's our opinion, but before we go, here is some Whovian trivia for you. Necessity was the mother of invention in the early days of Doctor Who, and so it was that the distinctive sound of the TARDIS materialising came to be invented using house keys. Brian Hodgson of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop dragged keys across the bass strings of an old piano and played the resulting sound backwards.
Yeah. And the BBC had to take on the Metropolitan Police to get the patent for the exterior of the TARDIS to use in merchandising. The Met had challenged the application on the grounds that the design belonged to them. After all, the TARDIS is disguised as a public police telephone box, which was a real thing in the UK. In 2002, lawyers ruled that given that the Met had stopped using the boxes in the 60s, the design was now more closely associated with Doctor Who. And voila! The TARDIS dressing gown, the TARDIS cookie jar, the TARDIS soap dispenser, the TARDIS UV book light, so that you can write secret notes to the Doctor.
And merchandising is something that the BBC take very, very seriously. In 2008, a fan created detailed knitting patterns of how to create Doctor Who characters and put them on her website. but soon received a cease and desist notice from the corporation, and shortly after that, her website vanished from the internet.
When the series was revived in 2005, there was a very real chance that the Daleks were not going to be revived with it. What? Due to a copyright dispute with the estate of the late co-creator of the Daleks, Terry Nation, they were nearly exterminated.
Exterminate.
But, as I'm sure you know, they not only survived, but have had numerous upgrades in the new revival, and stairs, no longer an issue.
Well, that's all our Who news. What do you guys think about Doctor Who being a woman? Let's discuss
She
in
is
the
a woman.
comments below. A woman. Is she?
Thank you for watching this video, and why not subscribe to us if you haven't yet? It's the most fun.
Maybe she's not a woman. And
She is a woman.
Click below to subscribe to the official channel.